puzzle, a problem or other contrivance designed to amuse by presenting difficulties to be solved by ingenuity or patient effort. On February 22, 1959, after years of racing his premier event on the beaches of Daytona, William France Sr. opened one of racing's ultimate puzzles, the Daytona International Speedway. For the last 42 years, the drivers in the ARCA REMAX series have been trying to solve Daytona. Solutions to puzzles may require recognizing patterns. The pattern here has been quite familiar. Bobby Gerhart first to the checkered flag. He goes for his third straight win and fifth overall today. Puzzles can also stem from serious mathematical or logistical problems. For Frank Kimmel, a record 8 ARCA championships has equaled 0 trips to victory lane here at Daytona, the missing piece in an already sparkling career of ARCA's winningest driver. Puzzles are often contrived as a form of entertainment. Several former Daytona winners have made the jump to stock car racing's Elite Series. For those hoping to follow in their footsteps, the journey begins today on one of racing's ultimate puzzles. The pieces come together as Speed brings you live coverage from Daytona of the season opening ARCA 200 next.
Welcome to the World Center of Racing as we kick off the 55th year of the ARCA REMAX Series with the ARCA 200 at Daytona. In the off-season, if you can call it that, cars are dismantled, put back together, primered. No decals go on these cars until they've been tested and tested again, and the final welds are put on. And after that is done, a nice coat of paint goes on, the numbers go on, and the decals go on, and they get ready for the start of the 2007 season. Yesterday, cars hit the racetrack, the high banks of Daytona International Speedway for their practice session, and then it was qualifying in the afternoon. And who sits on the pole but Erin Crocker, claiming her 4th career pole, and that is the 3rd time a woman will have won the pole at Daytona for the ARCA race, and she is sitting with Jim Trado.
And certainly she made headlines yesterday by winning the pole award, but Erin Crocker's on a schedule of 11 ARCA REMAX Series races and a handful of Busch Series races. Today could start a season that could turn into a full-time opportunity. This performance means a lot for Erin on her 4th career ARCA Series pole. It could be her most important. Erin, how does this race and how does the start of this season impact you today leading this field to green?
I think it can impact my entire career. I have a great car the team has brought for me. And, you know, if I could go out here and win today, it would be great. We'll see what happens, though. It's a long 200 miles and a lot of good cars around me, but we'll do our best.
She wants to make headlines again today as the winner of the ARCA REMAX Series race here today. Now let's check in with Wendy Venturini.
Bobby Gerhart has won the Daytona season opener 2 years in a row from the pole position. This year, Erin Crocker has given him a run for their money. He'll be starting P2. Bobby, with this second starting spot, what can we expect from an experienced veteran when the green flag falls?
Well, Wendy, I think we're ready to uncork this bottle of lightning right here, and I think it'll be exciting. I'm sure the fans will have a heck of a race to watch. I'd like, first of all, to thank our sponsors, Lucas Oil and Eagle Warranty. Without their support, Wendy, no matter how hard we work, it would kind of be in vain. It takes a tremendous effort financially and physically from people, you know, to be able to do something like this. And right now, in this quiet time, to be honest with you, I feel blessed to be surrounded by such a dedicated group of guys who give the spare time away from their families and kids and wives to support something that starts right here. As far as the race, the only thing we can really control is what we do. And, you know, we came here and knew we could run this number. We ran the number. The rest is what it is. I'm looking forward to a great race, and we'll be in good shape.
He may be calm now, but he's ready to rock when the green flag falls, guys.
Well, thank you, Wendy. Any good organization surrounds itself with good people, and that's exactly what I've done. A couple winners here in the ARCA REMAX Series, 12-time winner Kenny Schrader, and Phil, you found victory lane in this, Phil Parsons. Now, tell me a little bit about the magnitude of Daytona for the ARCA Series.
Back in 1981, I came here for the first time to race in a big car in this ARCA REMAX Series, and I'm telling you, that was the biggest thing in my life. I remember working all winter long, like we saw those guys in the shop working. not able to wait till we drove through that tunnel to get here to race at Daytona.
Yeah.
I was in that race also with Phil, except he was racing, and I was just scared to death in the back. But, you know, that was 81. Now there's guys pulling through that garage or through that tunnel for the very first time, and they're starting up in the front of this thing contending for the win.
It's going to be exciting. We do have quite a few rookies that are on site, as well as quite a few veterans. And one of those veterans up front is Bobby Gerhart, looking for his 5th win at Daytona. But before we do that, let's get today's command. We go trackside for that.
Ladies and gentlemen, once again, please welcome your Grand Marshal, Randy Morris, Vice President, RE/MAX International, as he delivers those most famous words in motorsports.
On behalf of 120,000 RE/MAX agents that sell more real estate than anybody else, drivers, start your engines.
Some of these drivers have been waiting their careers to fire the engines up at Daytona International Speedway. Others have just been waiting an off-season to get back at it. We do start the engines with heavy hearts this year as we pay tribute to Benny Parsons. Benny began his NASCAR career in 1964, but with full-time work scarce, Benny turned his attention to the ARCA Series for the next 6 years. He would go on to win the championship in 1968 and repeat the feat in 1969. By 73, Benny moved on to NASCAR's top division, became the first driver ever to win an ARCA and NASCAR championship. And in 75, Benny took NASCAR's biggest race with a victory at the Daytona 500. BP, as he was known by friends and family, retired from NASCAR in 1988 and began his illustrious broadcasting career with ESPN, receiving an Emmy in 1996. He later became the voice of NBC and TNT when he joined them in 2001. Benny Parsons has been inducted into the International Motorsports Hall of Fame and the Motorsports Hall of Fame of America, as well as being named one of NASCAR's 50 greatest drivers. Benny was a champion, an innovative broadcaster, a friend, but most of all, a true legend. That was a quick look back at the 2006 season, and an amazing season it was. Record-breaking season. 17 different winners. 12 of those were first-time winners.
When you get a series that goes from mile dirt tracks to half-mile asphalts to 2.66-mile Talladega and Daytona, you'll get a lot of different winners.
You know, we talk about that many different winners. Back in the 60s, Jack Bowser won 25 races in 1 year. That's how competitive this series has become.
We've got a couple young guys here at Daytona, but this is a little bit deceiving. It's not all that they don't have a lot of experience on this racetrack.
Yeah, a lot of these guys have raced at Talladega. You see the little red check marks. That means they have experience in restrictor plate races at Talladega.
Take a look at the way not only those rookies, but our veterans will be lining up today as we look at our RE/MAX starting grid. Erin Crocker claims her 4th career pole. She'll sit on the inside of row 1, and outside her, Bobby Gerhart.
Great run by Frank Kimmel. He said he didn't think he had anything for Bobby Gerhart. He didn't realize that Erin Crocker was going to put the type of number she did up there.
Well, the amazing thing about Frank Kimmel, he has accomplished so many things in his career. 68 wins, 8 championships in this ARCA RE/MAX series, but not a win at Daytona.
3 or 4 years ago, he wasn't that close. Now he's knocking on the door. He's really concentrated. He wants that Daytona win.
He does. He's got Robert Yates power, and he told us yesterday in the garage here that motor will get him down the straightaway. See David Reagan now, obviously he's got a busy slate ahead of him. He's going to run all the Cup races, all the Busch races, and he's going to try to get some good experience here at Daytona in this ARCA race.
Well, the Roush organization thought this wouldn't be a bad way to start off his week. Get him a couple hundred miles under his belt, and I think it'd be good for all of us.
There's a Toyota. Josh Wise will be driving a Toyota, first time ever in the ARCA series with a foreign manufacturer.
Timothy Peters running some races for RCR. He's going to run here and then potentially Talladega, depending upon how this race goes.
There's another Toyota. Brandon Witt, a former winner in the Truck Series, starts in row number 12.
We have a few more drivers that have experience in the back of the field. Chad McCumbee being one of those. Chad McCumbee also running a full-time Truck Series.
There's Todd Bowser back in row number 18. Famous name in the history of the ARCA Series. I mentioned his father, Jack, a few moments ago. Passed away, unfortunately, last year.
And then the final car that we saw on that grid there happens to be owned by you, Kenny.
Yes, it does, and that's definitely not where we wanted to start, but we figured finish is going to be a little more important, and we were fortunate that Bill Baird was the 1999 champion and got in on a Champions Provisional because it hasn't been won by anyone but Mr. Kimmel since then.
Yeah, it's been quite a while since he hasn't grabbed the hardware. We were looking a little bit at the 22 there. That was Josh Wise. He had to go to the back of the field because of a radiator change.
Now, after qualifying, they had 1 hour of practice, and then the cars were impounded.
So that short little happy hour gave guys like Justin South, who will be riding along with, a little extra track time.
There's Justin Marks right there. He will be starting the number 65 car in the 32nd spot.
Brian Silas in the number 11 will start 22nd, so pretty much right in the middle of the field, this 41-car field.
There's a 4, Scott Lagasse Jr. Going to do a Dodge development program here. Scott's got a little bit of experience. Ran a few truck races last year, a few Busch races.
Tim Russell a little closer to the front. And that number 9, he'll start in the 6th position. 8-time series champion. Frank Kimmel will also carry one of our cameras, so we will watch and see if he can follow Aaron Crocker around. And again, it's going to be the tale of 2 different lines at the start of this race. Who will progress fastest? Let's go back trackside. Wendy Venerini.
When you come to a speedway, one of the most important things is having friends. When I walked through the garage this morning, I could have swore Bobby Gerhart was running for president. He was walking around, finding his buddies, talking about who he's going to draft with. He was shaking hands, and that's the kind of thing that it's going to take to stay up front, because when you get hung out, it can make or break your day. Jim?
One of the pieces of the puzzle was already put in place yesterday when these teams chose their pit selection. Based upon qualifications, Aaron Crocker had the first crack at where she wanted to pit her race car. There are gaps along pit road at start-finish, for example, where Frank Kimmel's elected to pit. He qualified third. He chose an open space. There is no pit stall behind his race car, so when he comes into pit, he gets past that yellow line, the start-finish line on pit road. No one is in that pit stall, which makes his efforts to get in and out of the pits a lot easier. 9 of the top 10 cars pick those open spots along pit road from turn 1 to turn 4, guys.
And that strategy beginning early on with pit selection. Some guys that didn't even have that opportunity, the ones that tried to qualify for this race but have to go home because didn't make the field.
Kenny, what an incredible field of cars here. Had 66 cars here on the ground attempting to qualify for this race.
Well, and we see more cars every year, but not just cars, more quality cars, and the Cup and Busch teams that are using the series as a for their development drivers. It's just getting more intense every year.
The pace car makes its way off of the racing surface onto pit road. That puts the field into the hands of Aaron Crocker in that number 98 Dodge. As she comes to the flag, it flies green. We're underway with the ARCA 200. Up through the gears, takes them a little while. This is a restrictor plate race, so they don't have as much horsepower as they normally would when not on super speedways.
It'll be about a lap and a half before these cars are operating at full speed, and right now they're still side by side.
Kenny, you put your hands in the air. What were you looking for there?
Well, I just I was looking at the front, and then I glanced to the back, and we got to go.
Giddy up, I guess.
Yeah.
Riding along with Brian Silas, number 11. See the Mallory ignition box just in front of you as we look out the windshield.
You can see now that's not an optical illusion. Those cars are bouncing around that much. This is a rough racetrack. Talladega, Kenny, they repaved and it was smooth as glass. This racetrack's rough, isn't it?
This track's extremely rough, and with the older pavement, it's lost a lot of grip. But that's also why you can run all over the racetrack.
Bobby Gerhart leads the first lap, and that is nothing out of the ordinary for here at Daytona. He's won this race 4 times. The last 2 times were the previous 2 years where he led from the pole.
Our pole sitter, Aaron Crocker, going to tuck in right behind Bobby Gerhart, and there comes Frank Kimmel, our 8-time series champion, on the inside. Those 3 cars are going to try to get together and see if they can drive away.
Bit of a different color scheme for Frank Kimmel, as he no longer has Pork as his primary sponsor on that car.
We've definitely got 2 definite 2 rows, the inside and the outside, and there's not a lot of switching back and forth so far, which is good.
Got the 7 right now battling with the 12. That's AJ Hendrickson battling with the number 12 car, Mario Gosselin, for the 4th spot.
Mario Gosselin getting It's Mighty Easy on the hood of that car just this morning, actually secured that sponsorship for this race.
We walked by in the garage here and they were putting decals on the car. That's a good sign, isn't it, Ken?
That's a good sign. Whenever you can put more names on that car, just help the funding for these races.
Again, these cars running about 185 miles an hour and a lot closer than you'd want to drive on the freeway.
That's Justin Marks, his onboard right there, the 62 car right in front of him. That's Chad McCumbee. Looks to the outside, right up against the wall.
And Michael McDowell in that number 2 gets a little bit loose, but jumps back in front of Scott Lagasse. Some drivers, ones out in front, do have experience at a racetrack like this. Jim, what about the experienced drivers?
Well, guys, the experience may come upstairs as well in the spotting stand. Jason Jarrett, for example, is spotting for AJ Hendrickson. A number of Winston Cup teams, Nextel Cup teams have actually employed spotters from on the ARCA pit road. So these ARCA teams use Nextel Cup crews on pit road, but more importantly, eyes in the sky for AJ Hendrickson is the veteran Jason Jarrett on top to make the calls.
And I'm sure the spotter right now is screaming at Billy Venturini as to what are you doing, slowing down.
Yeah, obviously some sort of problem for Billy Venturini there.
He got in the middle and dropped back fairly quick. I just think he has a problem, but he didn't get to the bottom. Maybe we'll see here what happened.
See, that's the 25 car right of your screen on the outside. This is leaving the tribal, heading down towards turn number 1.
It's really almost a top 10 position, probably running about 12th there, and then in the middle of the field just backs up.
Looks like he just got out of the throttle right there. Wendy, what went on with Billy?
That's exactly what happened. He got out of rhythm. His spotter's just telling him to get back in it, get into rhythm. He was a little bit worried about the start of the race. In happy hour yesterday, he had an oil leak. They had to fix that. Then he cut a tire. They had to fix that. So his time on the track during happy hour was cut short, and he was a little bit concerned about the start of the race. I can tell he's taking it easy, and he's going to have to pick it back up.
5th lap about to be completed by Bobby Gerhart. He's led all 5 of the 80 that we are going to run here at Daytona International Speedway. Can Aaron Crocker become the first woman to ever win an ARCA REMAX Series race? We'll find out. We'll come back. Speed's coverage of the ARCA REMAX Series from Daytona is presented by REMAX. Outstanding agents, outstanding results. Brought to you in part by Advance Auto Parts, providing car care know-how to protect your investment. We're ready in advance. And by Hardcore Motorsports, proud sponsor of the Hardcore Motorsports ARCA Safety Initiative. As we mentioned, safety and initiative, we got a little tight there, didn't we?
Yeah, you'll have that whenever you're 3 wide here, but you know, they're starting to dice it up quite a bit there.
Is that confidence? Are these drivers feeling a little more confident so they feel like they can go anywhere on the track?
Well, anytime you make it through the first half a dozen laps, you say, oh, I know what I'm doing now, let's go. But you got to remember, your tires lose grip as you go, and build up air pressure, which helps them lose grip, and everybody leaks a little bit of something. The track gets a little bit slicker,
and then you run out of patience as the laps wear on. You get closer to the end. You feel like, well, we've run 20 laps. I need to make a move. No, I can't win this thing running 22nd. I've got to make a move to the front.
And a lot of times when you get thinking like that, you'll run out of talent, traction, and track all at the same time.
The 3 T's.
The 3 T's.
Looking at some of the younger drivers there, Justin Allgaier, Timothy Peters. Justin Allgaier in the number 16, Timothy Peters in the 31, running nose to tail. Another young driver getting some more experience here in the ARCA REMAX Series, currently running in the 18th positions, Chad McCumbee. Jim, what's going on with Chad?
Well, he's testing Kenny's 3Ts here. He told me before the race, hey, a couple of years back I qualified bad and went right to the front. This car works better in traffic. I've had issues alone all weekend. He's not really drafted with anyone, but he was confident he could get to the front. He already charged guys in these opening 10 laps from 30th out of the 15th position.
Yeah, Jim, we talked to Chad in the garage area this morning, and he said, we spent all our time trying to beat the fenders out so they would clear the tires here, so we really didn't have that much time to draft until the very end of the happy hour. He said the car drove really great. We don't have a whole lot of speed by ourselves, as you mentioned, but he said I think it's going to draft good, and he's really doing a great job.
He's got quite a bit of experience in the truck, too.
He does, and he did a good job on that truck.
Real good, impressive job last year.
Scott Lagasse also driving in the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series a year ago, currently running in the 11th position as we ride along with him and look back behind him at Brad Coleman.
Yeah, there are a lot of drivers sprinkled through this field that had a lot of experience in the Truck Series. Aaron ran the full season. Aaron Crocker. You know, David Reagan ran a number of the races in one of Roush's trucks. Damon Lusk ran a handful of races in the Truck Series last year. He's running in the top 10 right now in 7th.
Scott Lagasse, one of the few drivers in the field that already has his college degree. He was able to grab that from Flagler College. They welcomed him back last Tuesday, supporting Scott Lagasse, as Scott has not only signed autographs but given them a commitment that he's going to give back to the school. And we've got problems. Justin Allgaier getting around as he was trying to avoid the 7 of A.J. Henriksen. Henriksen was running in the 3rd position. We see Dexter Bean in the 6th, and now the melee taking place behind all of that.
There's a 75 right there. Billy Tanner around. There's a lot of damage to A.J. Henriksen's car. That's a team car to Bobby Gerhardt's right there, the Eagle warranty car. We saw him moving around in the car, it looked like, Kenny, so that's a good sign.
Yeah, but still, I'm going to be curious to see replay and footage of the way that car's bent is a little bit unusual, so that must have been quite the wreck.
You wouldn't normally see that hitting the wall like that, would you?
No, sir.
It looks like another car may have hit.
Yeah.
There's Norm Bennings, number 84. Obviously, a lot of damage to the back of his Chevrolet.
There's Dexter Bean. More damage to the back of that car also. We see the 61. He's got some damage on the right side of that car, getting some right side tires.
Yeah, he's been up against the wall, it looks like, Kenny.
Yes, most definitely. I was worried about his brakes. He just overshot the pits a little bit, but
also making a chassis adjustment to that. Let's take another look at what took place on our first caution here.
Looked like Mario Goslin got in the back of A.J. Henriksen. And then there's the 22. It looked like of Josh Wise going around. Somebody ran in the back of him.
But the damage wasn't done to the 7 until I believe later, because right here Mario Goslin just spins him around. Mario goes spinning around, but I think there was some contact later on here.
Yeah, that wasn't damage. He's got to get hit another time in the right front area.
Yeah, he still hasn't been hit yet. It looked like he got a little bit loose, Kenny, didn't it? Because it looked like he may have gotten out of the throttle a little bit when Mario ran in the back of him.
It looked like he got a little bit loose. It's just it's one of those things, you hate to say it, but
that was the contact right there.
Yeah.
It's the 85 right there.
Greg Barnhart. I believe this is the 11.
See the smoke
Ryan
up ahead.
Silas.
Good job by Brian Silas right there. Heads up there. He backed off the throttle. When he saw he was clear, he got back in the throttle to go ahead and get out of the way. You get run into from behind so many times in an accident like that, don't you, Kenny?
Once he knew that he had the front of his car safe, he gassed her up to give everyone else more room to get slowed down.
That's Greg Barnhart's car, the 85 Ford Fusion, that has so much damage to the front end of that, as we see cars making their way down pit road now to have service done. And again, we've only completed 13 laps. We're on the 14th of 80 laps here for the ARCA REMAX 200.
Most of the leaders stayed on the racetrack. These are cars that were running about 20th on back.
We'll skip away for just a few minutes. Bobby Gerhart out in front of the field. We'll tell you how it all shakes out when we come back. February 18th. Are you ready for the biggest NASCAR race of the season? Not until you've watched the biggest pre-race show on television. NASCAR Race Day, built by the Home Depot. JR, Jimmy, Kenny, and Wendy help fire your engine before the Daytona 500. NASCAR Race Day, built by Home Depot, February 18th, live and only on Speed. And it follows us this evening.
Yeah, we've got a race day tonight, right after this show.
Wendy is working overtime tonight.
That's right. Let's see if we can get a hold of Bobby Gerhart on the radio and see what that 5 car feels like. Hey, Bobby, Phil Parsons up on the speed booth. Can you hear me?
Hello, buddy.
Hey, that thing looks awfully good out front. You know what it's like to lead here. You got what it takes. You have what it takes to get that thing. Keep it up front.
It's been a fantastic week for everybody here. Real proud of this Lucas Oil Eagle Warranty Chevrolet and all the guys that have built this race car and been involved in a 6-month process to come here. And these kind of deals don't come with a lot of work and a lot of pain. And I feel blessed to be surrounded by all the guys. And right now it's boy, man, what a ride.
Hey, Bobby, we've got Kenny Schrader, Rick Allen, myself up here in the booth, and you're talking too much, so we want to talk, okay?
Oh, Schrader needs to be here.
I'll see you in a couple of weeks.
He said he'll see you in a couple of weeks. Good luck, Bobby.
Again, back to have some more work done on number 61 was Stephen Wallace. Jim, what'd they do down there?
Guys, I'm down at Stephen Wallace's pit, and he came in a moment ago. You saw the right side damage from the cameras outside the racetrack. Down here on pit road, this is usually an extension and a 1/4 inch. This is what they use to pry the right front fender away from the tire. It looks like they're getting ready to pit for tires this time, but they want to get clearance and get it back on the racetrack, not to lose a lap.
How come we're seeing so much, I guess, lack of clearance between the tires and the fenders?
Well, the wall had something to do with the clearance on that car.
Right.
I think Stephen was probably caught up in a little bit in that accident with A.J. Hendrickson, because I think he had to avoid that situation. He was right behind them, and he swerved to the right, and I think he made a little contact with the outside wall. That's where his damage came from.
We build the fenders on our Daytona and Talladega cars so it just where they barely clear the tire, because the bigger the car is, the slower it goes. So we want the car to be as small as possible. Unfortunately, when you lean against anything at all, you've got a tire rub.
Yeah. So they continue to work on that 61 Dodge Charger of Stephen Wallace. And while they'll do that, we'll come back for the green flag right after these messages. Again, it's Bobby Gerhart out in front of Kimmel, Gosselin, and Crocker, your top 4. Welcome back to Daytona. Let's flash back to 1981, since we've got a couple guys who were in this race. Bill, you actually only ran in, I guess less than a handful of ARCA races, but had some pretty good success here.
Yeah, this was a big time wreck. That was right behind me here, and there was a lot of cars involved. That was Bob Donna Sr. was one of those cars involved in that wreck, and you see some hard hits, but racetrack looks a little bit different back then.
I like that Granada, man.
Yeah.
Rusty Wallace built that car for us.
Yeah, that looks like Ken Schrader right there.
That arrow was make sure you went the right way, right?
Yeah. When the arrow went by pointing the wrong way, they knew he was doing bad.
Yeah. One of my crew guys right there was Bobby Labonte. He was 16 years old.
That was the pass for the lead. Tim Richmond out in front ended up winning that race. Phil, I believe you came home 4th in this one.
We did. That was unusual that we actually started the race, stopped it to run the Bud shootout, and then finished our race.
A little bit of a flashback, a splash of history from Daytona International Speedway.
Ancient history.
And we continue with Speed's coverage of Speed Weeks from Daytona. And again, the duels taking place on Thursday. So that countdown continues until the duels on Speed. Make sure to stay tuned to Speed for all of the coverage from Speed Weeks here at Daytona International Speedway.
Kenny, I don't know about you, but historically, the qualifying races, now called the Gatorade Duels on Thursday, were always my favorite races of the week, of the whole week.
Oh, they're just so stressful. I mean, you were fighting for starting position. That's one thing, but you're fighting to see if you were in the race, and that's a whole. You're fighting for your life. You feel like they're.
Now we have a truck race, so that's obviously just as exciting as Gatorade Duels. But for a long time,
good cover.
we had the Gatorade Duels, and originally they were 100 miles, and then they went to 125 miles, and now they're 150 miles, but some exciting racing, and especially how this year is, well, starting last year really with the top 35 in car owner points from the previous year being guaranteed. That makes it so much harder to get in this 500, doesn't it?
Well, we've got like 25 cars going, basically 25 cars fighting for 8 spots.
Right, yeah.
So it's going to be stressful. You talk about truck race. This will be the first time I've driven a truck race here. I'm going to drive Bobby Hamilton's Fastenal Dodge. But I always wondered why I could go in, I'd turn on speed, lay on the couch in the camper, watch the race, never fall asleep. Then I drove truck here. Wow, I know why now. That's a little stressful.
Yeah, and again, we're under our first caution of the day. There were 8 cars that were involved in the first one, and obviously safety is always an issue with the ARCA REMAX Series. We take a look at our Hardcore Motorsports Safety Initiative with Wendy Venerini.
With speeds over 180 miles an hour, a big concern for series directors is what happens to the car when it's impacted on the track. A lot of parts can go flying. Well, a way to stop that is tethers. There are tethers on the hood, on the deck lid, and even on the spindles.
The tethers are in place so that parts of the car don't fly up in the grandstands. They've really improved by being able to keep that stuff down on the racetrack. Parts like the hood, the trunk. A track like Daytona has had problems with hoods going up in the grandstands, and we're just trying to keep them on the cars.
Once you start spinning and there's cars all across the track, when other cars hit it, the energy wants to disperse the parts on the race car. And the tethers are basically, they don't keep the drivers any safer. What they do is they keep the fans safe.
I believe my six-year-old nephew Thomas, he could put them on the car. You know, a couple bolts here. Literally, they as you're putting the car together, like the spindle tether. You know, basically you're assembling your hubs and stuff. It goes right into place. I mean, there's really not much to it. The hood, there's a few holes to drill and things of that nature. Other than that, you're talking about simple things that take literally 10 to 15 minutes.
Checking for tethers is just another part of the inspection process here in the ARCA REMAX Series. They check to make sure that they're tight and in good working condition, and that's just another factor that plays a part in safety here in ARCA.
They continue cleanup here at the racetrack. Gerhart looking for his 5th Daytona International Speedway win in the ARCA REMAX Series. Right behind him, Frank Kimmel has never won here. Can he change that luck today? Up through the gearbox as they go. The green flag back out at Daytona.
Bobby Gerhart opens up a couple car length lead. He doesn't want to get too much of a lead because that will allow Frank Kimmel to have some momentum when the draft pulls him up to him. And he's got Mario Gosselin, the 12 car, right behind him. Let's see if Frank gets up on his rear bump. Let's see if he's going to make a move. Looks like he's going to hang in there right now.
Yeah, it'll be actually in the next lap before they, really up to their maximum speed yet, because they just probably get into 4th gear right in between 3 and 4 in the restart, or 1 and 2.
You know, Frank lost a transmission in practice, and his brother Bill, his crew chief, was a little bit worried that he may really get hurt on the restarts because this is his intermediate type racetrack transmission. Thought he would have a little bit too much 3rd gear, but looked like he hung in there pretty well on that restart.
Most definitely. Very unusual really to lose a transmission or end at a super speedway.
You know what they did? They actually brought the same car that they had run at Talladega, not really thinking that Daytona was going to be that much different. But as you boys both know, it's quite a bit different.
Well, especially from Talladega last fall with the new pavement. You didn't have to worry about grip. That was an issue. As long as you were pointed the right way, you had a lot of grip. Nice and smooth, the new pavement, but here, altogether different story.
And Bill said they got so much more travel here that the drive shaft actually bottomed out in the tail housing and it busted the tail housing because they had so much more travel. So they had to put a new transmission and a shorter drive shaft in to accommodate the travel.
A little bit overcast here at Daytona Beach, Florida now, as the cars are going to their 23rd of 80 laps.
That's not a bad thing, the overcast here, because coming off turn 4 around this time of day, the sun can be just treacherous right in your eyes all the way through the trioval.
You know, the video we just saw back in 1981, as I mentioned, we stopped that race in the middle of it, ran the Bud shootout, then went and resumed our race. The sun was murder coming off turn number 4. Kenny and I were talking about during the commercial. You would come off turn number 4, and you wouldn't be able to see anything till you got to the start-finish line because the sun was so bad.
Yeah, there was stuff happening I didn't want to see anyway.
Well, it looks as though Erin Crocker's going to move to the outside of that line and see if she can get any takers that will follow her and maybe give a push. But it's not looking good right now.
Now the 55 of Damon Lusk and the 39 of David Reagan are going to stay on the inside. They're going to hang her out by herself.
Very few cars can hang in a lane by themselves. Now we've got a couple of the Yates cars look like they're able to do it over in the Cup side, but you have an extremely strong car if you can just hang her in that lane by yourself.
And she is beginning to drop back now. She wants to make sure she'll find a spot before that second pack catches up to this first pack. Wendy, what was she talking about on the radio?
Well, we mentioned at the top of the show, it's all about having friends. Now, she took a chance right there going out of line. She was hoping somebody would go with her. When she went out, nobody went with her line. All the crew kind of shook their heads, and they knew exactly what had just happened.
You know, Wendy, what's interesting with this race here, they were talking about such good fuel mileage in the garage area that most of these teams were talking about being able to run maybe 50 laps. That's why when we had that first caution flag, none of our leaders came down pit road. They're going to actually try to run this race backwards, just like you do on a road course. They're going to start this race as 80 laps long. They're going to say, okay, if I can run 50, I need to get in my window. If I run about 30 to 32 laps, then I'll be in my window. That's when I want to pit, and maybe not pit anymore after that.
One guy who pit quite a bit was that 61 of Stephen Wallace. They had some damage to that car. He came in maybe 5-6 times.
Well, he's positioned himself back up to 22nd place already, so you know, he had a lot of speed going in. As long as they get those fenders beat out, he'll have it back.
That's a shot out of Justin South's onboard right there, looking back at Steve Wallace. We talked to him in the garage here. He said as of now, this is probably the only ARCA race that he's going to run this year. May possibly run Talladega if things go well, but he's got a great race car, and it looks like it's still going pretty quick.
You know, with your Daytona and Talladega car, most of the ARCA teams running the same car. You can't make a lot of plans for the Talladega race until you see how you come out of here. And this is a little bit of a roll of the dice.
The second pack here, led by the 61 of Stephen Wallace, and just behind him, that 14 of Michael Falk. And then it's the 22, that new Toyota Camry, running in the ARCA REMAX Series, Josh Wise.
That's a familiar car right there, Kenny, that 52 Dodge Charger.
Right, I was hoping he didn't run into the back of Stephen, because there's no way we could cover for him there.
Yeah, when you're on a camera like that, we can't do anything for you.
Well, this is an interesting track position right here.
This is a bit of a wad here.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a wad. Stephen's wanting to go. I was hoping he wasn't going to put that 51 car in the middle right now, but
Brian Silas, as we look over to trouble. There's Stephen Wallace spinning around, gets caught in the front end, continues to spin.
Looks like Billy Venturini possibly came along and clipped him.
Second caution of the day comes out. Stephen Wallace getting turned around going through the tri-oval.
I think this is that situation, Kenny, where you might as well not plan much on having anything to race at Talladega. Huh? It was right. Billy Venturini. Tough break for Billy. We saw him slow early in the race, and that's what put him basically at the back of the pack, and unfortunately a lot of damage to that 25 car.
He'll try to make it around and get back into the pits where his father, Bill Venturini Sr., go to work on it. Stephen Wallace not happy at all as he gets out of his car.
You know, the Venturini family, not a big budget operation, but have really run extremely good on all the restrictor plate races. They put a lot of effort in. They run good every place, but they've really excelled the last couple of years.
Billy Venturini will bring that car down pit road, see if father Bill Venturini Sr. can work any magic and get him back out onto the racetrack. We'll come back. Bobby Gerhart still leads the field. And welcome back to the ARCA 200 at Daytona International Speedway. We ride along with the number 11 of Brian Silas. A lot of damage to the right front of that car. We'll find out how that damage actually took place.
He may have caught a piece of that accident with Stephen Wallace. Let's see if we can take a look back at what happened to cause that accident with Stephen. See, Stephen's on the outside in the 61 car. Goes right up to, he just gets loose up there.
Boy, it kind of looked like he might have cut a tire or something.
Yeah, you don't really get loose in that part of the racetrack, but it's a pretty hard contact for Steve Wallace.
Billy Venturini then clipping him in that number 25, and we saw the 11 was in front of that. I believe that was just a right front tire that had exploded.
See, he's waving.
Yeah,
he's waving the guys around.
He knew he had some sort of a problem. He was waving at that 14 car behind him. I think he knew he had a flat tire, and he was trying to get out of the way.
I think he had a left rear flat.
Yeah, you see the rubber already came off the tire and was rolling down the racetrack.
Yeah, he's out of the way up high.
He was doing everything textbook. He just didn't have enough tire quite far enough around through the tri-oval to get him through there.
Here's Justin South's onboard right here. You see Josh Wise, the 22. There's the 14 who's going to get clipped by the 61 of Steve Wallace, and that turns Steve right back into the outside wall.
That accident taking place just as they went across the start-finish line. Now we look at the damage from the 11.
Just riding along and blows a right front tire out. Obviously probably ran over some debris from the accident with Steve Wallace, but watch the damage you're going to see. That's all that damage came from cutting a tire down and that rubber thrashing about. It looks like a major super speedway crash, and all it was a flat tire.
All it was a flat tire.
Yeah.
At about 60 miles an hour.
Yeah, which is amazing that it didn't happen when he's going 185 miles an hour going into one. You had mentioned that was one of the most scary things you've done as a driver.
Oh yeah, blowing a right front tire going into the corner is no fun, but fortunately for Brian, that was again at caution speed at about 70 miles an hour, but you can see the damage it did just from the tire rubber hitting the bodywork.
Well, Steven knew he had a problem when he had his hand out the window and signaling. If he could have made it just a little farther around the tri-oval, could have probably kept gathered up straight, but he didn't have a chance there.
He really had the presence of mind to motion to the cars behind him to go to the inside, and that would have worked perfect, as you mentioned, if he just would have had enough grip in those tires to get him on around to the straightaway.
Well, let me ask you, experts, the damage that he did to the car earlier, is that a possibility of causing the cut tire here?
Left rear tire, and we believe that most of all of his damage was on the right side before. Okay. So I seriously doubt it. Yeah. Unless he had some left rear damage that we didn't really see, but I think it's separate events. And he still had a fast car and was still going forward.
Yeah, he was moving forward until the problems that took place there just as they got into the tri-oval.
We're getting right in that window. The leaders are heading down towards pit road. This will complete 30 laps. This could possibly be the only pit stop for some of these guys and girls.
That's right.
Competitors.
Bobby Gerhart leads the field. Frank Kimmel just behind him. And the cars on their way down pit road. We'll get an up-close look at a few of them. Let's go down to Bobby Gerhart's crew and Jim.
And guys, the call was for 2 right side tires. Billy Gerhart told me a very minor air pressure adjustment. The car is nearly perfect. This team won last year with just a right side change, 1 tire stop the whole race long. Wendy?
The NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series team of Brendan Gaughan is pitting for Mario Gosselin. No tires, just gas for him. You also see Aaron Crocker coming in for a 2 tire stop. A little bit of strategy being played by teams here on pit road, and she is down and away.
Mario Gosselin with that fuel-only strategy beats out Bobby Gerhart and Aaron Crocker.
And sometimes you've got to take some chances in the pits.
Pretty interesting strategy, though, Kenny, knowing this may be your only pit stop and electing not to go with any tires at all.
Well, especially when we've had a couple major incidents on the track, and all kinds of little stuff up there. I mean, that could possibly puncture a tire. So I don't know if I stop once, I think I'd just soon get 4.
I think I'd rather get them now, and then if we're going to stop later on for whatever reason, then maybe at that point decide not to take any tires.
Being a little bit different here from Nextel Cup now is these cars still have the 22-gallon fuel cells.
Nextel Cup cars have gone to about an 18-gallon fuel, so they really go by size, but everyone tells me it holds about 18 gallons, and that will be here at Daytona throughout the entire season, that same fuel cell in the Nextel Cup cars.
Yeah, we had gotten where we were using that 14-gallon cell for the super speedways, or for Daytona, Talladega, and then the 22-gallon, and they just went, especially with the car tomorrow coming in, 18-gallon cell everywhere.
Well, as we talk a little bit about the Cup Series, Thursday don't miss the most exhilarating qualifying event in NASCAR. The duels at Daytona on speed. Drivers have one last shot to race their way into the Daytona 500. The duels at Daytona on speed live Thursday, 2 Eastern. NASCAR on speed. It's huge. 3 cars involved in the accidents. For our second caution of the day, we'll be back with more racing from Daytona after this. And welcome back. Still under caution here at the Daytona International Speedway. Well, let's go to Jim Treda, who gets a little technical with the Mallory ignition system.
Since the start of the 2005 season, the ARCA REMAX Series has mandated the Mallory CT Pro ignition system in every race car. This whole toolbox is filled with these boxes. Every race team gets one given to them at random at the beginning of the race weekend. What it does, it limits the engine RPM to 8,800 RPMs. So the high rev engines, the high expense, the high maintenance is not an issue anymore for these teams. We've seen better competition and literally 0 race failures. 285,000 miles, no failures in races with these Mallory CT Pro ignition boxes for the teams.
I was probably one of the guys that didn't want to do it. I was against it at the time. I had a DEI engine deal. We were turning engines 9,800 RPM. I said, there's no way that this is going to work. And ultimately it has.
They are absolutely bulletproof. I cost myself a motor when we first went to them because I didn't know how to warm a car. I dropped the valve, didn't really kill it. But since then, they're perfect.
Over the course of the last couple years, not having to turn the motors, 92, 93, 9400 to keep up with the Kimmels and the Venturinis and those type of folks, it has helped lower budgeted teams like ourselves. We can make that motor last a little bit longer. The pieces in the motor, you just stretch that stuff a lot further than before.
So for the teams that run the entire schedule, it could mean one more race, or maybe one more test session on the engine before a rebuild, or maybe the valve springs can last another event. Ultimately, it saves these teams money as well.
And money savings is a big issue in the ARCA REMAX Series. You can see the Mallory ignition box there on the front dash of the 46 of Frank Kimmel's, and I believe we're going to keep Jim going. Jim, what's going on down there with that team?
Well, guys, Frank Kimmel, as planned, came down and changed 4 tires. His brother Bill told me before the race, we always change 4 tires on the first stop. We've done the 1 pit stop strategy. We're going to try to alter that a bit. Unfortunately, their situation changed because they had a hang up on the left front. It cost them some spots. He's back in 24th, but under caution a lap ago, he said, guys, I think I might have a vibration.
Front of the field, you have Mario Gosselin and Aaron Crocker. Now, they have been communicating. Their pits are located right next to each other. Of course, Mario Gosselin did not take any tires. Fuel only. Aaron Crocker took 2. They've communicated they're going to hook up together in this draft because they don't believe Bobby Gearhart's going to go with either one of them.
That will explain it. Todd Bowser in the number 21. You mentioned us earlier, he may be running a limited schedule this year in 07.
Yeah, they're obviously looking for sponsorship with that family-owned team. Ford lost his father, Jack, one of the stalwarts of the ARCA series, probably one of the biggest names in the history of the series. Unfortunately, one of my mentors, sure thought a lot of Jack Bowser.
Yeah, the Bowser family synonymous with ARCA. A lot of teams looking for sponsorship. Continuing to run the 23 race schedule.
You know, it worries me when Bill Kimmel was talking about a vibration, or Frank talking about a vibration. I believe I'd want to have take a look at that, Kenny, under this caution, wouldn't you?
Well, I think I might have to come in now while we're still under the yellow. You can change the 4 tires more than likely. It's a wheel weight or something like that. You sure hope. And take them off, put another set on. You can always put those back on later.
It'll be too late now, though. We've obviously getting ready for a restart here, so Frank's going to have to hold what he has.
Mark Mitchell out in front of the field in number 93. Then it's Mario Gosselin, Aaron Crocker, Bobby Gearhart, and Damon Lusk, our top 5. Again, up through the gearboxes as they make their way through the trial with a green flag back out.
So Bobby Gerhart in the 5 car lay back a little bit. He's trying to get a little bit of a run on him. He would love to have a little momentum when he got up to those cars. Aaron Crocker, the one being right in front of him, and be able to drive by him.
We talked about Mario Gosselin with just fuel-only pit strategy. I would have to say Mark Mitchell stayed on the racetrack.
Yeah, he probably was one of the cars that pitted on that first caution flag and decided to stay out. He's got a lot of real fast cars right behind him.
Riding along with Justin South, that's Mike McDowell in the number 2 on the inside. It's got the yellow stripe on the back bumper. There's Frank Kimmel in that 46, the flames on the back. Making his way by Justin South also.
Michael McDowell is going to run it. We got a pass for the lead. Mario Gosselin goes to the outside.
And Aaron Crocker is going to follow, and it looks as though Bobby Gerhart is going to do the same.
He glanced to the inside.
The line, it looks as though, is going to go by Mark Mitchell in that number 93.
You know, look back in the 4th spot, that blue car. That's Damon Lusk. He's got a top 5 finish here at Daytona, and he's been up in the top 10 from the time we dropped the green flag. He's doing a great job.
Damon Lusk, another one of those drivers looking to find sponsorship to continue throughout the season. He's got 2 wins in this series. Oh, and we got problems with the number 14.
Michael Falk, the 14. Oh, trouble. There's Josh Wise, the 22.
More cars involved. They're coming off the racetrack.
At the 24 right there, Benny Chastain. There's Justin South right there. The 8 of Brian Kahns was involved in that.
That got messy.
Messy in a hurry.
That's what we like to see, those window nets coming down.
Yeah, there's Benny Chastain right there in the 24 car. There's a Toyota of Josh Wise, Eddie Sharp Racing, along with Michael Waltrip Racing.
One of the spotters had mentioned just before this accident they thought there was smoke coming out of one of the cars, possibly the number 4 of Scott Lagasse. Justin South trying to get back down onto pit road, probably take that behind the wall. A lot of damage to that car. He tries to get straight back out. Let's take one more look. This is going to be an actual time.
There's Justin South right here. We're on board his car. See him back off a little bit. There's a car, looks like that was the 14 into the wall, and there's a 22 sideways in the middle of the racetrack. Josh Wise, Justin South had nowhere to go, ran into the back of the 62 of Chad McCumbee.
Engine off. Silence as you come to a stop there in the grass.
Looked like the 14 car got loose and got into the wall. Then the 22 kind of jerked his wheel left, Kenny, to try to avoid that. When he did, it looked like he lost control.
Right.
So pretty hard hits there on the outside wall with the 24 of Benny Chastain and the 8 of Brian Kahns.
Take another peek at this one.
14 car already in the outside wall, and the 22 of Josh Wise sideways in the middle of the racetrack. Ooh, the 72 car looked like he had avoided it, just got caught. J.R. Hefner.
He did everything he could do. He just quite ran out of room, but he was going the right directions.
A lot of debris strewn across the racetrack and on the apron. Be a lot of cleanup that's going to take place after this. The 3rd caution in the ARCA 200. That's Justin South. It looks as though he wants the guys on his team to put that thing back together so he can get back out. He hasn't unstrapped himself or taken his helmet off as he's made his way into the garage. So the safety crew and the cleanup crew out onto the racetrack for the 3rd time here at Daytona International Speedway. We'll continue with more of the ARCA 200 on Speed after this. Welcome back. Frank Kimmel. Last year, the last restrictor plate race we were in, it was the 46 Ford that was able to get out front even through the carnage that took place. The red flag that came out, and then the yellow and checkered, and Frank celebrated his super speedway win at Talladega, and now looking for his first ever win at Daytona.
Why don't we see if we can talk to Frank and see how his race is going. We heard him talk about a little bit of a vibration. Let's see if we can talk to him. Hey Frank, Phil Parsons, can you hear me?
Yeah, I got you there.
We heard you talk about a little bit of a vibration after you put the 4 tires on. You got to run about what, 1 lap? Did the vibration go away?
Everything's fine too. Just sometimes they shake around a little bit so they get going.
Looks like you got a pretty good piece. We just saw some video of your win at Talladega in this same exact race car. You got what it takes to get that thing up front?
Yeah, we hope so. We got a few spots here to make up. We try to do the best we can, stay out of trouble, and get to the end.
Look, like you got 4 tires on your pit stop, and a lot of your competitors either got 2 tires or fuel only. You think that might be an advantage later on?
I think so. I was out on some older tires last night. Was sliding around quite a bit. Then decided to put 4 new ones on, and the car really settled down. So I think we get a good long run. I think you'll see these guys moving around a bit. Hopefully give us a little bit of an advantage.
All right, Frank. Good luck, buddy.
Repairs continuing for the 38 of Mike Harmon, and Jim Trado is with Chad McCumbee.
And Chad stands here in his pits. The car was rolled away. Chad, what happened?
It's restrictor plate racing. You know, I'd like to thank NOS Energy Drink for coming on board with us this weekend, and Andy Hillenberg and Andy Belmont for giving me this opportunity. We were taking a car that weren't very good and really making it run there, and you know, we drove up through the field right to start with and got hung up in the pits there. Unfortunately, guys made a good stop. Just tight pit road stuff, you know, and got us back a little bit further than we wanted to. And I don't know exactly what happened, but you'll have that in restrictor plates.
And the feeling is you're running the full Chrysler Truck Series schedule, but you may be eyeballing a full ARCA schedule as well. Tell us how important this race may be and why you may be getting back in it.
Yeah, you never know. I mean, you know, Andy Belmont, I think, wants me to maybe see where we're at after Salem. The deal right now, I'm going to try to run the first 4 races and, you know, help get Brian Silas on his way to winning that Rookie of the Year title with a Fast Track this year. And heck, if we're top 5 in the points after Salem, maybe we'll go to Kansas and maybe we'll go to the next one and just see what happens.
They've already been working on flights, guys, to see if that's a very big possibility. They're, again, trying to get that car back out to get maximum points for team owner Andy Belmont.
Thanks, mate.
We've reached the halfway point. 40 laps complete of the 80 scheduled. Some cars coming down pit road, others staying out.
We just haven't, in recent races here, we haven't seen quite this much wrecking,
right.
You know.
Again, out in front, Mario Goslin, Aaron Crocker running second, Gerhart, Mitchell, Lusk, your top 5. One car that didn't make the field was the 27 of Dickie Williamson, and Dickie Williamson actually was going to carry the breastcancer.org pink ribbon on his hood if he was going to run it. His sister actually is a breast cancer survivor, and so not only he but some of his crew were out there to shave their head in support of the breast cancer organization, and so doing all they can to help out not only the survivors but those that are inflicted with breast cancer. Cleanup continues around the 2.5-mile Daytona International Speedway, the world center of racing, and a little bit of water sports, having fun also. We'll be back with more from Daytona. Speed's coverage of the ARCA REMAX Series from Daytona is brought to you by Hardcore Motorsports, proud sponsor of the Hardcore Motorsports ARCA Safety Initiative. Rick Allen, Phil Parsons, Kenny Schrader, joined by Jim Trado and Wendy Venerini on pit road as we are at the Mecca of Motorsports, Daytona International Speedway. Mario Goslin continues to lead the field around the 2.5-mile super speedway as we're under our 3rd caution. Let's look back at what has taken place up to this point as we've just crossed the halfway point. Obviously the adrenaline high getting this one started. Craig Evernham's number 98 on the pole for this one. Aaron Crocker driving that. On the outside was Bobby Gerhart of row 1, and then the problems happened just behind them. A.J. Hendrickson, that number 7, got spun around, and then the problems behind him.
Quite a few cars involved with this accident. You see A.J. Hendrickson in the 7 get a hard lick from Greg Barnhart.
Steve Wallace then gets sideways coming through the tri-oval. A cut tire, we believe, got him turned around, and then the problems again after that. That one was a 4-car accident.
Even a little bit upset with his left rear tire for good reason.
Most recently, that was the 14 of Michael Falk starting this one, and then it happens again when you're going this fast and running so close. A lot of cars are involved.
Here's Justin South right here. He's doing the right thing. He's backing off. He's slowing down. He's keeping his car straight. And then the racetrack gets blocked right in front of him, and he has nowhere to go.
Again, we have completed 42 of the scheduled 80 laps for the ARCA 200. Out in front of this one, it's Mario Goslin. Let's go back down to pit road and Wendy Venturini.
If you're a race fan sitting at home and think, man, this is a long caution, imagine being the driver. Erin Crocker came over the radio, and she's getting a little bit anxious. She wants to go back green. Now, of course, Mario Goslin, he said he's going to ride that yellow stripe on the bottom. If anyone wants to pass him, they'll have to go on the outside as we get ready to go back green.
And I'm guessing not too many are going to choose to go the high line unless they know they've got somebody that'll go with them.
Well, it's gonna take several of them to go up there. So we'll have to see what happens here, but it should be interesting. We keep whittling them down. We haven't whittled down the fastest cars yet. They're still there.
Yeah, we've got quite a few fast cars out in front of this field. Mario Goslin, one of those. Mario with 3 wins to his name. His most recent win came at Nashville last year. They spread out. Here comes Bobby Gerhart on the inside trying to take second away. He will do it. He takes second before they even get into turn number 1.
We know Bobby Gerhart likes to lead these races. I don't think he's going to be content to ride around and follow the 12 of Mario Goslin. Remember, Mario got fuel only on his pit stop. Bobby Gerhart and Erin Crocker both put right side tires on.
Lining up down the back stretch, getting up to speed again.
We have to keep an eye out for Frank Kimmel. Remember, he changed 4 tires, so he's well back in the pack right now. He's being shown in the 18th spot.
Kimmel again with a new paint job. If you're looking for that blue number 46 that was running a year ago, it's now an orange 46.
He is right at the tail end of this lead pack here, along with the 52 of Bill Baird, Kenny Schrader's car.
Well, you notice how now with those lead cars, they get that inside lane and they get away a little bit, versus at the start when they start in double file, they couldn't get away a little bit. They stayed 2x2 for a while.
This group right here at the tail end of this group, we got a couple former champions, actually the most recent champions of the past 10 years, actually. I had to do the math in my head there, but Kimmel has 8 of those, and Bill Baird was the winner back in 1999.
There's a number 2 right there of Michael McDowell. We started to mention a few moments ago that he will run all the races this year. That's great to see that competitive a car, and going to try to squeeze Frank Kimmel a little bit. Remember, for those of you that watch the Nextel Cup races and see the out of bounds line, we never had that before in the ARCA series, but we do now. The yellow line is out of bounds. If you make a pass below the yellow line, you will lose that spot, and they will actually bring you in unless you give that spot back immediately on the racetrack.
And that's a good rule, because you can pass someone down there, but if they elect to keep you down there until you get to the turn, then you got a problem.
It's a little flatter.
You can't enter that there on the turn, so it's just a good rule.
See, Bill Baird's got a little bit of flapping on the right rear there as he tucks in behind the 46 of Frank Kimmel. Oh, up the wall. Looks like a cut right front tire.
Yes, it did.
The 94 of Brad Coleman gets into the wall hard.
Yeah, that car just shot straight across the racetrack. Very, very fortunate that nobody else is involved. And the very tail end of the field now was going by on the inside. So this will be a 1-car accident, but obviously a broken suspension or a flat right front tire for Brad Coleman. What a great record he has on ARCA. He's already got a win. He won in Kentucky. 7 top 5s out of 8 starts for Brad Coleman. And what is he, 18 years old?
Yeah, just a young kid that was found on a go-kart track, and they said, hey, you've got some talent. Let's put you into a couple cars bigger. And next thing you know, he's running very competitively in the ARCA REMAX series. we look back at what just took place.
He's down on the inside. Life is good. And then it'll take off here in just a second, and there's nothing he can do right there.
Just goes straight across the racetrack. Absolutely nothing he could do. When that thing took off to the right, he turned the wheel as hard as he could to the left, and doesn't make any difference. It just keeps on going.
Right.
Well, the impact there, obviously, a little bit of the absorption had to go away because of that safer barrier. Your glance is off of that.
Yeah, it definitely, you know, we're told that the safer barrier reduces the impact by about a third. But you're still running 180 mile an hour.
Right.
That's still a pretty hard hit right there. He's going to feel that. But fortunately, with all the safety innovations of recently, you see him right now. Good view of Brad getting out of the car. That these accidents and these hits are a lot less than they used to be, aren't they, Kenny?
Oh, it's unbelievable. The gains that we've made in safety in the last 10 years.
Well, another tire issue, and that brings out our fourth caution.
You know, Kenny talked about it before. There were so many. We had so much debris on the racetrack over the course of the 3 cautions previous to this that there's a lot of, you know, ARCA does a great job cleaning the racetrack, Kenny, but there's times when you don't get every little piece.
Well, there is, and Hoosier, who is the sole supplier, you know, basically, I mean, they've built short track tires, and for the last dozen years or so, they've been building speedway tires. They have done an excellent job of bringing tires to these ARCA races, so any kind of debris will put a hole in that rubber, though.
Well, next Friday, roughest, toughest racing in NASCAR returns to speed. The NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series will hit the high banks of Daytona, and they always put on a great show here.
An incredible show. And Kenny, you're going to be right smack in the middle of that.
Yeah, right in the middle. I'd like to be just a little bit in front of the middle. Yeah, because the middle looks a little exciting.
Well, you tested the Fastenal Dodge down here back in January. How did that test go? Pretty well.
We had a good test in Bobby's truck there. The thing felt good. Looking forward to coming back.
That'll be again next Friday, 7:30 p.m. Eastern, live on Speed. Mario Gosselin continuing to lead, but it was Bobby Gerhart who made the pass on Aaron Crocker on the restart. Can Bobby Gerhart do the same thing to Mario Gosselin on our next restart?
I bet he tries. I bet he tries real hard.
Well, Bobby is not going to be content to run second here.
And Mario mentioned, we heard that he said, hey, I'm going to stick to the yellow line here, so if anybody wants to pass me, they got to go to the high side. Would that be bad if Bobby Gerhart went to the outside and didn't have help?
Well, you say that, but that's when you're running. He won't be on the yellow line at the initial start because everybody starts on the outside to protect the outside. Well, it'll be exciting.
He will be most vulnerable, as I'm talking about Mario Gosselin, on the very restart. That's when he's going to be most vulnerable.
Wendy.
I just want to add what you guys are talking about in the booth. The 12 of Mario Gosselin, our leader, and Bobby Gerhart, they were one of the 2 guys that I was talking about at the top of the show where they actually had that handshake. I watched the conversation take place. Bobby Gerhart said, you stick with me. I promise you I will give you the storybook ending. He said, we will be at the front of the pack at the end of this race. I saw them give a handshake, and it looks like we'll see if he ends up on his end of the deal, if he follows the 12 at the start of the restart of the race.
I got no doubt that Bobby Gerhart, I mean, I know he means that, but his storybook's going to be behind him, you know?
He's going to give him a great finish of second.
Yes.
If he has his way.
Yes.
That's Bobby Gerhart's storybook. Yeah. And so they're continuing the cleanup here. We'll be back with more of the ARCA 200 right after these messages.
Daytona, USA, and 39 late model stock cars take to the track for the 4th annual ARCA 250, the Auto Racing Club of America's top event each year. And here they come, the best and fastest field in ARCA history. Whoop, Johnny Roberts flips and twists like a toy car thrown off a cliff. Pit stops are over for everybody. From here on, it's flat out all the way. The white flag, 1 lap, 1 minute. It's now or never. But who's going to be first? It's Latham in number 29. If he doesn't run out of iron, Latham wins it.
And they've been exciting since 1967 here at Daytona.
See, we thought 81 was a long time ago. That was no time ago at all, Phil.
Yeah, that was Ralph Latham winning that race over Iggy Katona.
Yeah, and the great racing will continue here. The duels at Daytona. Countdown continues for that on Speed. Again, the duels at Daytona on Speed, and that's Thursday. That countdown will continue as we continue with the coverage of Speed Weeks from Daytona International Speedway. And the caution lights continue to be on the pace car as it leads the field around this 2.5-mile super speedway. Mario Gosselin trying to keep the tires warm. Again, just after our show will be NASCAR race day. We'll let Wendy take a little bit of a breather as the checkered flag will fly here, and then put it right back to work at NASCAR race day.
Going to get a restart, one more lap. There's a 55 right there, Damon Lusk. You know, we talked a little bit earlier about what a great run he's had. He's been in the top 10 this entire race, Jim.
What it really comes down to is strategy. Last year he said he pitted once for right side tires and got a top 5 finish. New team, new opportunity. This time his brother Darren just told me we pitted for gas only on lap 30. We hope to go the rest of the way. So Lusk is on no tires, gas only, one-stop strategy.
And we touched base with Damon before the race, and he made the comment he didn't think the tires were wearing that much.
He really didn't. He said he had 40-some laps of practice on his tires, and they look like brand new.
A lot of times, though, a tire won't wear, but it'll give up grip. You know, it still looks real good.
It'll get a little greasy.
Yeah, it's the best looking tire that doesn't stick good that you could imagine having.
You know, that's what Frank told us on the radio, that he said his, you know, he got a lot of laps on his tires and it started getting a little bit squirrely. So that's why he felt like new tires was a better strategy for him.
The AAA Ford Fusion driven by David Reagan. Now, he had a pretty healthy pit crew helping him out. That's his Cup pit crew that was down there on pit road when he made his stop. David currently running in the 7th position. Jeremy Clements, we see the back end of his car just in front of him, the number 3. Again, it's Mario Gosselin out in front of the field.
We see how that line, and there's Mario right up by that wall, protecting that outside for the start.
Now he's going to make his way to the yellow line, as he told us, but he's going to start up there, and he wants to make sure he gets to that yellow line before Bobby Gerhart sticks his nose underneath him. But we'll see if Bobby holds back a little bit. He laid back on that previous restart, but looks like he's staying right up with Mario right now.
As they come into the tri-oval, Mario Gosselin gets into the gas, begins up through the gears. Let's see if Bobby Gerhart can get by him.
I think I'll go down to the line now.
Mario does just that, sealing the number 12 down on the yellow line. He said if anybody wants to go by him, they're going to have to do it on the high side.
You know, in a perfect world, everyone's going to stay on the bottom of the racetrack and they're going to ride around there in single file, but we're not that smart, are we?
We don't live in a perfect world.
No. Well, another thing that messes everything up is that you get paid more every time you pass a car. I think if it did away, well, it really wouldn't make any difference, would it?
No, it really wouldn't.
There's Bill Baird just in front of Tim Russell.
They only give one trophy away, don't
they? Right.
Again, as we mentioned, you like the preferred line down on the bottom. Michael McDowell not on that preferred line. He runs up on the high side of the racetrack. Didn't have any help up there, and so he begins to drift back. And there, right there, we saw Frank Kimmel on the inside of the yellow line. And I'm not sure if he was making a pass at the time, but he was down below the yellow line as he was going by a car.
And ARCA will look at that, the ARCA officials, and try to determine if he was forced down there. If Frank Kimmel was forced below the yellow line and he made a pass, they will not penalize Frank Kimmel.
But if he was making the pass, went down there and continued it, then they will penalize him. And the ARCA is going to review it.
Let's take a look right now. You see him, he's on the inside, then he's forced down. He does have his left side tires, but it looked like the 16 car right there of Justin Allgaier kind of helped him down there a little bit, didn't they?
I would say more than a little bit.
You don't think he was just holding his line?
When someone's up my left rear, I don't usually turn left. Now, but there's Frank way below the line there. I don't know if he got hit or what.
See a tire mark on the right side of that car. That's Timothy Peters, the 31 car. That's an RCR car right behind Frank.
Timothy Peters talking about how well his car was running in practice, felt good about it in qualifying. And we're hearing that Frank Kimmel did get a warning from ARCA. The ARCA official said, hey, you've got to keep that thing above the yellow line.
I'd much rather get a warning than a black flag, but he's going to try to make a move to the outside. He's going to bring the 31 of Timothy Peters with him.
Yeah, the last lap, we go back one lap, and we see Frank here start underneath someone again. His teammate.
Yeah, that's the 47.
Yeah.
Philip Magilton. He just continues to flirt with that yellow line. Now shooting back out to the outside. Again, Mario holding on to the front spot.
I like the fact that Frank Kimmel is trying something, Kenny. He's riding around there in the 16th, 18th spot. I'm not going to be able to do anything from here. He's going to try to pass some cars.
Well, and you know, you got to go where they're not. So he decided to go up to the top because he knows he keeps flirting with the bottom, he's going to get himself trouble. And we'll just see if he can make something work up there.
Because of the restrictor plates, these guys try to never get off of the accelerator. And so when one guy goes, you've either got to go with him or stay in line and hope that you can suck up to the position that was just left vacant when they went by. But Frank Kimmel went up high, and the 31 of Timothy Peters joined him. So we'll see if that has worked out as a good strategy. Aaron Crocker now getting passed on the outside by Frank Kimmel.
Aaron was running third a few moments ago and looked like she got shuffled out a little bit. Now she's caught in the middle. Frank Kimmel was able to get by on the outside, bring Timothy Peters. There's the 52 of Bill Barrett on the outside, and there's the 2 of Michael McDonald on the inside. Boy, she's in no man's land.
Well, she's got some kind of problem going on here.
I think Michael McDonald's a singer, Phil.
Well, that might have been Michael McDowell then in that 2-car.
Or he was singing something when she went by. It is still Mario Gosselin holding on to the top spot. Bobby Gerhart trying to make it 5 at Daytona. Fifth caution has come out here at Daytona International Speedway for the ARCA 200 at Daytona. Yes, that's Bobby Gerhart out in front, and the reason why is this.
Side by side for the lead. You see the 12 of Mario Gosselin get a little bit loose. Then he slid up the hill, tried to keep his car off of the 5 of Bobby Gerhart. Watch this. You see him get loose. Bobby gives him plenty of room. Just fighting for control. Gets into the outside wall. Keeps it up there. Tough break for Mario Gosselin.
Tough break. He just plain got loose when Bobby was on the outside of him, but did a good job of keeping that thing a single car incident and keeping his car up against the wall.
Jason Edleski in the 08.
Yeah, this is it right here. This is just, he's going to get a little bit loose there. Watch him. And then Bobby gives him plenty of room. But unfortunately, Mario loses control. The 93 of Mark Mitchell does a great job of getting by him. Another view right here. This is Tim Russell's onboard camera. There's Frank Kimmel, the 46 on the outside. See, Tim Russell's going to be forced down, but that's okay. You can go down below the yellow line, obviously, to avoid any kind of an incident like that.
And so Mario Gosselin brings his slightly damaged number 12 Chevrolet onto pit road to have some work done to that car.
Aaron Crocker is also in the pits.
Aaron Crocker had problems with slowing down. What's going on, Wendy?
Well, the 12 of Mario Gosselin, they are working on the right front and right rear fenders on that 2 tires on him. He did say he lost it. The air turned him around, that the 5 of Bobby Gerhart did not touch him. Aaron Crocker's also in for an adjustment. She got hung out to dry from that draft, so she decided to come down pit road, and the team made some slight adjustments and 2 tires on her car.
So 58 laps of the 80 have been completed. 22 remain. Fun continues in the infield at Daytona, but few wrecks on the racetrack. February 18th on Speed, Wind Tunnel with Dave Despain returns. Don't miss the biggest names, the biggest opinions, and the biggest mouths all season long. And of course, Dave is on hand to fan the flames of controversy. Wind Tunnel with Dave Despain, February 18th, 9 Eastern, live on Speed. Again, that's Lake Lloyd. That is on the infield of Daytona International Speedway.
You know why it's there, don't you?
Well, you could explain it to me if you'd like.
That's where the dirt came from for the banks.
For the banking here?
When they built the track. And there's been let's see.
Bay Darnell.
Eric Darnell's grandfather was in the lake.
Not by choice, I'm guessing.
Not by choice.
Again, it's Bobby Gerhart out in front of the field. Mark Mitchell with a very impressive run right behind him. Jeremy Clements, David Reagan, and Damon Lusk round out your top 5. About to go back to racing. That's Bobby Gerhart. The Lucas Chevrolet out in front of this field. Right behind him, Mark Mitchell, and that number 93.
What a super run by Mark Mitchell. He ran Talladega last year, finished 34th, but I think that may have been his only ARCA race last year was at Talladega, doing a terrific job.
Jeremy Clements been good all day too, right there in the 3-car in 3rd spot.
There's David Reagan right there, the 39.
Oh.
Aaron Crocker.
Aaron Crocker into the infield.
Caution flag is not out yet. I'm going to see if Aaron can get her car going.
She does.
If I was her, I would not have gotten going. But she did get going, and the green flag remains out.
And so our port pole winner, looks like she had a little damage to the right rear of that car.
She
But
might have had a little help.
There's
a restart.
A lot of times on these restarts, one of your buddies will help you.
See Aaron right there.
Leski is right behind her.
A little chain reaction there. Somebody didn't go, and unfortunately Aaron got hit.
And that basically is going to ruin Jason's car too.
We see it so many times. Somebody doesn't go when you think they're going to go, and then when somebody gets off the throttle and hits the brake, then it's going to be chain reaction deal, and it's somebody inevitably is going to get hit like that. Tough break for Aaron though.
Every car back runs out of reaction time space.
One of the cars that had problems earlier was that of Brad Coleman, and I believe he's standing with Jim Trado now.
He is, Rick. And Brad, I'm sure you want to be out there right now. What did put you out?
Oh yeah, it definitely hurts being here watching them go around like this, but we were going into turn 3 and it was all good and dandy. We just made a pass and then the right front tire just blew out and smacked the wall pretty hard. After I hit the wall, I just kept it right because I did not want to get hit by the whole field coming. So, I mean, we're out of the race early and it's not good.
Your first experience here at Daytona, you've got a Busch season planned ahead of you. How important is the experience you've got here with Bobby Gerhart and Joe Gibbs Racing in the ARCA Series?
Oh, it's really important, the experience I've gotten here. I mean, I've learned so much from Bobby. I mean, he's awesome here. He's out in the lead right now. He's doing a great job. I hope he wins it. I mean, I've learned so much from him. It's been well worth it.
Jimmy Maker also down here with the Joe Gibbs efforts, helping Brad Coleman's efforts, unfortunately cut short today.
Aaron Crocker making a pit stop as she had problems. Wendy?
Aaron Crocker did just come down pit road. They took 4 tires. Now she does have damage on the right rear side. The only reaction I got from her on the radio was that she did have a vibration. Whether or not that was before the wreck, I'm not sure.
She definitely got run into fairly severely on that restart.
Single file line behind that Lucas Chevrolet of Bobby Gerhart. A very familiar sight for us as we watch him lead the pack around this racetrack. He's won it 4 times.
Well, that 5 car looks strong though, doesn't it, Kenny?
Yes, it is. With some of the cars that have been knocked out of the race, it's going to be very hard for some of these guys to make a run on him if his car continues to handle like it does and will stay on the bottom of the follow that yellow line.
Michael McDowell moving to the outside in his Dodge Charger. We see the front of his car looks like it has a little bit of damage on it as well.
I'll tell you, Bobby's got some good cars behind him, though. Obviously, Mark Mitchell's done a terrific job. Jeremy Clements has been right up there. David Reagan has a lot of experience. He's won in the ARCA Series. Damon Lusk has been in the top 5. He's a 2-time winner in the ARCA Series, so it's not going to be easy for Bobby Gerhart, but he does have a strong car.
Well, what does Bobby Gerhart do if those 4 decide, hey, we're going to move on the outside of you and go by?
He's going to block them is what he's going to do. He's going to look in the mirror, and if they go to the outside, he's going to go up there too.
He's going to make right turns instead of lefts.
But see, that's where greed comes in, because if Mark Mitchell decides to go high, Jeremy goes, well, I can go with Gerhart, and now I'm in 2nd place. So it just depends.
See Frank Kimmel out of the back of, that's Scott Lagacy's number 4.
Frank has worked his way up to the 7th spot. We saw him back in about 20th. Remember, he took 4 tires on his pit stop and lost his track position, but he's worked his way up into the top 10. He's running 7th right now. Got Scott Lagacy, the 4 car, right in front of him in 6th.
Again, we talked about the 98 and the problems on the restart. Wendy, What really happened down there?
Just wanted to follow up and as what happened to Erin Crocker. She did get wicked loose out there, and when she did and she let off just slightly, Jason Hedleski got into her, causing her to spin around. So just wanted to follow up. It was just a loose condition on Erin Crocker's car.
We're running out of laps here. There's only 14 laps to go if these guys are going to try to do anything with Bobby Gerhart, but
got
Mario
damage to
Gosselin.
the, looks like a little more damage to the right side of that car, and that's why.
Makes a little contact right as he exits the tri-oval.
Bad.
Got the
It's not bad. He had to replace the right side anyway.
Butch Jarvis, and that 0 was on the inside of him. Then it's Todd Bowser in the 21 that he's going by now.
Yeah, Mario Gosselin is still on the lead lap. That was a pass for position right there. He just moved into the 17th spot in front of Todd Bowser.
Again, 41 cars started the race. We've got 30 still on the racetrack. So 10 cars have exited the racing surface and have made it back into the garage, not of their own choice. Bobby Gerhart continuing to lead the field around. Can anyone get by the 4-time winner here at Daytona? Well, we're going to find out when we come back. The checkered flag will fly the next time we're in Daytona. And the speeds are back down to 60 miles an hour as the caution has come back out at Daytona International Speedway. It's Bobby Gerhart still out in front of the field as we've gone to just 10 laps of racing remaining in this one. And well, Gerhart wants to maybe race the pace car a little bit. He's got a lot of success here, though. He wants to continue to make history, looking for his 5th win at Daytona in the ARCA Series. The reason why we're under our most recent caution, which is the 6th caution of the night, is the 11 of Bryan Silas. A lot of damage to that car prior to this most recent caution, but Bryan Silas got turned around and had some problems. It looks like the right front tire down on that already.
Yeah, the sway bar arm is dragging the racetrack. That's where all the sparks are coming from. There's a crush panel that there's an aluminum panel or a steel panel that goes between that roll bar and the outside body to keep that stuff from flying in the car. But obviously when you bend the side like that, it crushes that panel, and that allows all this debris and sparks and everything to get inside the car. And it's
I can almost,
it's not a good thing.
I can almost smell the smoke.
Hey,
That's
really
such a good shot right there, isn't it?
Tremendous shot.
Oh, look at the sparks continue to flying off of that as they're trying to get that car off the racetrack. Obviously, the longer he's out there, even on the apron, the more debris that gets strewn across this racetrack.
Now,
let's take a look at how it happened.
That's him in the 11 car right there, right behind 34. He gets a little bit loose, drives down off the racetrack, and normally here you go back up the racetrack, and he did make some contact with the outside wall, and fortunately only one car involved in this accident, so some good heads-up driving by that car right behind him.
It's Bryan Silas in the 11 that was involved in this accident. Went back up the racetrack, then back down and was able to stop it. We're on board with Bryan.
That doesn't sound all that great either.
And that was one car. He didn't get hit by anybody. That was one car. Jim Trado's down in his pits.
They've got all sorts of tools, guys. They're going to do some cutting away of the right front tire from the earlier incident where the right front tire got cut down. They've really been kind of limping along. This young driver out of Florida is a limited late model racer out of New Smyrna Speedway, getting his chance to run for Rookie of the Year with Andy Hillenberg's group. Andy Hillenberg's the spotter for the team. They're calming him down. He was apologetic on the radio just a moment ago. They said, we want you to finish this race. We're looking for the Rookie of the Year deal. We're going to let you finish this race. So he has one goal in mind now, just to complete all the laps he can.
Are they calming down Bryan or Andy?
Bryan.
Yeah, they need to calm down maybe the owner. And he will have to maintain a minimum speed once he makes it out onto the racetrack. As we get ready to go back to the checkers, we'll cut away for a last break and be back for the finish.
Welcome back. Waves behind the Dale Earnhardt Jr. fan, and waves out on the racetrack, and problems with Mike Harmon in the 38. He'll make his way behind the wall and into the garage. Blown motor on that car. 1 to go is what the officials are letting us know until we go back to green. Bobby Gerhart looking for his 5th win in the Daytona ARCA 200, and that would be record setting. An impressive run. Right behind him, Mark Mitchell. Jeremy Clements in the number 3, currently in 3rd position. David Reagan and Damon Lusk, your top 5 as we are about to restart. We'll have 6 laps to go in this one. And NASCAR Race Day, built by the Home Depot, will be shown immediately following the ARCA 200. And again, there will be 6 laps of racing to go when they get the green flag. Phil, do the math there. How many miles will that be? 6 laps?
Would be 15 miles.
15 miles of racing remaining. Kenny, can you stand 15 miles?
That one was so easy, I was going to let Phil figure it for me.
Hey, remember though, we will not finish this ARCA race under caution. If we would have caution, we would have a green, white checker finish.
Just when I thought it couldn't get any worse. You got to remind me of that.
That's a car owner talking right there.
Normally not something that we tell people. We try to keep that, so that we don't have to experience that. But at the same time, we've got to let everyone know.
Well, and the reason we could have to have a situation like that is we've got a lot of hungry drivers out there.
Yeah, we sure do. We've got 22 cars on the lead lap right now.
Yes, we've got, and they're all wanting it. They're going to do everything within their powers.
Mario Goslin being scored as the final driver on the lead lap in 22nd position.
As always, the restart is the most critical time here for Bobby Gerhart. He wants to get through the transmission clean. He doesn't want to get too big a gap and allow Mark Mitchell and the guys behind him to have some momentum when they catch him.
A shootout of our own here on speed. It's Bobby Gerhart leading the field. He gets the green flag. He'll go up through the gears. Can he do it without making a mistake? We'll find out. Works his way through the tri-oval and has a great restart, but that could come back to haunt him.
He doesn't want to get too big a gap right there, but his car has been awfully strong. But if Jeremy Clements in the 3 car could pull right up on Mark Mitchell's bumper and they use the draft to catch Bobby Gerhart at the right time, it may be enough to propel them by him. We'll have to see.
It looks like Jeremy Clements, almost a little bit anxious, was about to move out by Mark Mitchell. Look at the bump drafting going on down the backstretch.
Damon lost the 55, pulls to the outside.
It looks like Kimmel's going to go with him. Now Jeremy Clement eases up the racetrack. They're side by side. Damon Lusk, Frank Kimmel on the outside. They're trying to get to the number 5 of Bobby Gerhart.
Now this is what Bobby Gerhart wants to look up in his mirror and see.
Side by side racing behind him.
Right behind him. He knows if they stay side by side, he's in great shape. But Mark Mitchell decided to stay with Bobby Gerhart right on the bottom.
Wendy, what's going on with these cars up front?
Well, the 93 of Mark Mitchell and Jeremy Clements in the 3 right behind him, they actually are teammates of sorts. The 93 is in the backup car of Jeremy Clements, so of course they're going to work together, and this is what you need. Remember, we covered it at the top of the show. It's about who your friends are at this point.
And Wendy, David Reagan is out there by himself, the only Roush Racing development driver in the field, but Ruler Brothers have put a great car underneath him. This car had taken 4 tires under lap 30 pit stops. They're just waiting their time. Time is now, of course, but they've been waiting all day for their opportunity to get in the top 5. They've been hanging to this point. Let's see what they got.
Oh, we got problems. Damon Lusk comes down, a hard hit. The number 9 gets spun around. That's Tim Russell into the wall hard. Damon Lusk was trying to come down. Frank Kimmel was just behind him.
I saw that coming, didn't you, Kenny?
Well, I didn't see it, but when you grabbed my arm, I knew something was going on.
That's a hard hit for Tim Russell right there. That's Matt Hagan's number 9 car.
Also involved the 55 of Damon Lusk.
Such a good run going to Damon Lusk. He was trying to make something happen. He was in the top 5. He went to the outside. I thought it was a good move. Frank went with him. Then they came off of 4 right at the entrance to the tri-oval. They started squeezing down there, and there was some contact.
Well, we touched it. This was a possibility just a minute ago.
That's a great sign, seeing Tim Russell climb out of that. A very, very hard hit.
Kenny, you've got a little business to do tonight?
Guys, I've enjoyed the heck of it. I'm way too nervous up here watching. ARCA is going to make a decision to throw a little red flag here, so we Might probably get her cleaned up in the scheduled
Yep, exactly.
laps. But I got to go to the meeting for the shootout, so have fun up here.
Good luck tonight. Good luck, Kenny, and thank you again for joining us up here.
Thank you.
We'll watch your car for you, Kenny.
Yeah, you don't have to worry about it any longer.
Good sign, Damon Lusk being able to get out of his 55 car. What a tough break for Damon. Had such a good run going. You can see the frustration. You work all winter long to get here, like we talked about at the very top of the show, and you're within sight of a top 5 finish here with 3-4 laps to go, and something like that happens. No matter whose fault it is, it's just so frustrating.
Again, Damon Lusk had gone to the outside, was trying to get that second line to run. Looked as though Frank Kimmel was going to join him out there. He ran behind the 55 of Damon Lusk, and then it looked as though Lusk decided, well, this one isn't running too well. I might want to get back down, and we'll take a look at what took place then.
See Damon, the 55, he's going to pull back down, and see Frank really couldn't go any lower because the 31 of Timothy Peters was on the inside. Damon probably didn't realize that it was going to make it a 3-wide situation. If Frank Kimmel had not had somebody on the inside of him, Damon would have been able to drive down like that. They would have had plenty of room. Here's another look at it. You see Timothy Peters at the very last instant sticks his nose up beside of Frank Kimmel, and that's where the contact came right there.
Also involved in that's the 65 of Justin Marks. Justin Marks, one of the drivers trying to compete for a championship this year in the ARCA REMAX Series.
There's another hard hit. So thank goodness for the safer barriers. We touched on it earlier, Rick, and thank goodness for that. Here, going to get another look at it. You see Damon's coming down with the 55, and Frank gets squeezed in the middle, and there's a 65 right there with absolutely nowhere to go, Justin Marks.
Riding along, this is the 4 with Scott Lagasse, and that's what was taking place just behind him.
Here's Tim Russell right here. Let's see what his view. You see him right there, makes hard contact right into the safer barrier. Tough break. Remember now, all these guys are running in the top 10 inside of 5 laps to go at Daytona.
Everybody racing for position, wanting to have that top 10 finish, wanting to have that top 5 finish, doing whatever they can to get up toward the front.
You see all the damage right there. That's the right front spring right there. All that damage to Tim Russell's car.
I believe Jim Trado is caught up with a man who's a little bit in the know as to what's going on with our leader.
Yeah, it's Bobby Gerhardt's brother Billy, and I'm wondering about your strategies here. Your team is now asking, should you keep the motor on? And your driver's saying, what should we do? Keep it running? How close are we on fuel?
Well, we're close. You're always close here, but we just asked ARCA, and we're going to shut it off if it won't restart. The rules allow us to push it. But I got to tell you, this Lucas Oil Chevrolet Eagle Warranty Chevy, man, what a car. These guys, Dave Liner, Dustin Driscoll, the whole gang, they built this race car, and I argued with them for a month and said, no way, guys, we're running the one we won with last year. And they finally overruled me. I'm glad they did. I think it's a better car than we had last year. What a piece of equipment. These guys have worked so hard. Bobby drove such a great race, and we're going to try to bring this thing home. You know, Mario beat us out of the pits with no tires, but that's not how you win this race.
Billy, you had friends before the race. You had 2 other cars in the field. Right now, you're kind of on an island. Any friends out there that are going to help you to the finish here?
Well, I'll tell you what, that Mark Mitchell running second. What a job he's doing, a rookie. And his car seems to really work good with the Lucas Oil Chevy. So I think he's going to, try to get a great finish here, and good for them guys. Just anxious to get this restarted and get home.
I'm sure he is, guys. And that car he mentioned that he wanted to run here last year, it's in the hauler. Patches is the backup. Boy, what an effort they put together for 3 cars qualifying top 10, and Bobby, the brand new piece, running up front.
Very impressive, and Bobby Gerhardt obviously has a lot of success at this racetrack. He's won 4 times. As a matter of fact, the first win for Bobby Gerhardt at Daytona came back in 1999.
It looks a little wet.
Yeah, that was 02. That was 02 when he got his, that was his second win here. And that one shortened because of rain. Then in 2005, it was Bobby Gerhardt winning from the pole. And then he repeated that the following year, and that was last year, starting on the pole and winning the race for the 4th time. 4 fingers up in the air. Well, they'll have to hold 5 fingers up in the air if they're able to hold on to this position. Number 5, Chevy Monte Carlo out in front one more time at Daytona. They continue to clean the track. When it's cleaned, we'll have a shootout for the checkers. Speed's coverage of the ARCA RE/MAX Series from Daytona is presented by RE/MAX. Outstanding agents, outstanding results. Brought to you in part by Hardcore Motorsports, proud sponsor of the Hardcore Motorsports ARCA Safety Initiative. Lights are on. NASCAR race day again will follow immediately after the conclusion of this race when the checkers fly. We'll send you over to the boys and Wendy at NASCAR race day, built by the Home Depot. And again, the countdown continues to Thursday, the duels at Daytona on Speed. So make sure to keep your televisions tuned right here for all of the coverage of Speed Weeks. And again, the duels at Daytona on Thursday. We're going from red to yellow, so the yellow flag now out, and the cars begin to roll back around the racetrack as they've cleaned it off. Again, 76 laps complete. We have just 4 laps remaining. Wendy, what's going on with that team right behind Bobby Gerhart?
Well, I'm excited to get over to NASCAR Race Day, but I'm even more excited to watch the finish of this ARCA race. Let me tell you about the 93 of Mark Mitchell. If he were to win this race, it really would be a surprise for everyone. There's only 2 radios on the team, the crew chief and the spotter, including Mark Mitchell's 3 radios. Crew chief Rusty Clanton, I'm very surprised at how well you're running. Do you have a run for Bobby Gerhart?
Well, we're trying to hang on. I mean, hope we don't have no trouble with the debris on the tires, but Mark's done an excellent job. Ergon, we want to thank Ergon for coming on board. We got a 16 race schedule put together, so we're just wishing the best luck, you know.
This is actually a rental car of Jeremy Clements, and you and Mark Mitchell have been racing together for many years. Tell us about it quickly.
Well, I've raced against him as a competitor, and now I'm crew chiefing for him, and the boy's got a lot of talent.
And he sure does. Right now he's running second, and it was only his 2nd run here at Daytona. Jim?
Wendy, I'm going to check in with Frank Kimmel's pit, and his brother Bill's here in the pit area. We saw the incident on the racetrack. It appears your brother had nowhere to go, but more importantly, what's he said since then? Is there any damage on his 46?
Well, he didn't say not a whole lot of damage. He said he thought he had a hole there, and he said Damon come across, he locked up the brakes, and he said he skidded across his right front fender, but not really sure how bad we've had anything hurt. I guess we'll find out when it starts again. He'll probably have to keep it hid. I don't know if we have anything to get back to the front at all, but had a real good race car. We kind of shot ourselves in the foot here in the pits today, but port fusion went off good all day long.
You guys had that issue about a possible tire vibration. What is it about Daytona? Is this a heavier weight now because you guys have come close so many times?
No, not really. I mean, that kind of went off our shoulders, I think, last year at Talladega. I mean, had a good car there. You know, Frank's won a lot of races, so, yeah, sure, we'd like to win here at Daytona, but it's been a whole lot easier this week because we're competitive again, so that makes it a whole lot more fun.
Thanks, Bill.
Again, the caution light's still on the pace car that's out in front of the field. We believe when they go by, those lights are going to go out, and they will be told 1 lap to go until we get the green, and at that time I believe they'll give us the green and white, so it will be a 1-lap race to the checkered. Phil.
That's right. We will try to finish this race in the prescribed distance, which is 80 laps. We're now just completing 78 laps. They're giving 1 to go, so they come back by to complete lap 79. It will be 1 lap of racing to go to try to finish this thing, and we're going to have to wait and see if Mark Mitchell or Jeremy Clements or any of these guys have anything for Bobby Gerhart. Remember, this restart is going to be the most vulnerable time for him, and we're going to see if these guys gang up on him.
Yeah, and that's, you know, exactly right. Ken Schrader made the comment earlier that's really the most important time for Gerhart, because he has got to not make a mistake. He can't make any mistakes out in front of this field, going through the gears, getting up to speed, because this is it.
And he's got to concentrate. He's got to watch that mirror. He's got to watch Mark Mitchell's hands behind him. If Mark Mitchell looks like he's going to the outside, then Bobby Gerhart needs to keep his car right in front of Mark Mitchell's car. He just wants to be right smack in front of Mark Mitchell's car, and that way he can't pass him.
Well, and Mark Mitchell has to really feel like this is almost a victory for him. I mean, only his 2nd ARCA race, running 2nd to really the Daytona King in the ARCA series, Bobby Gerhart.
And that's another thing in Bobby Gerhart's corner, because he knows that Mark Mitchell's behind him. And Mark Mitchell, I'm sure right now, if you said you're going to finish second at Daytona, he would be ecstatic. So he has to feel like Bobby Gerhart. He's obviously in the driver's seat. He's got the advantage, but he has to be clean. He has to not make any mistakes.
And you can't forget about Jeremy Clements in the number 3, David Reagan in the 39, or Scott Lagasse Jr. in that number 4. Those are the top 5, and any one of those drivers would love to say they have won a race at Daytona. Well, this is it. The final 2.5 miles of the ARCA 200.
Look at Timothy Peters, that black car. Watch him lay back right there. Now, ARCA should not allow him to do that. Let's see if he can time it right, though, and get a run.
As they come through the gears, the green and white flag in the air. It's Bobby Gerhart going through the gears. Mark Mitchell right behind him. Jeremy Clements, David Reagan, Scott Lagasse Jr. Your top 5. Then it's Timothy Peters trying to get that jump. Let's see if it works out for him as they go into turn number 1. A little contact. Jeremy Clements in the back of Mark Mitchell.
They get them all seized up there. That's going to keep them all behind Bobby Gerhart.
And look at the run Frank Kimmel is having on the outside. Down the back stretch they go, trying to come up through the gears.
Remember, this is the same car that Frank Kimmel won at Talladega with.
Kimmel on the outside. He's got no help. He starts to drift back. It's Gerhart, Mark Mitchell, 1 and 2, nose to tail. Can Mark Mitchell make anything happen in the final 3 and 4? Bobby Gerhart out to a 2-car lead as he works his way through 4 into the tri-oval, and it will be number 5 for Bobby Gerhart. Gerhart winning at Daytona again.
What a great job on Bobby Gerhart. He puts so much emphasis on this race, even though he runs for the championship, and he gets his 5th win here.
Unbelievable run. 5 wins for Bobby Gerhart at Daytona. As Bobby Gerhart brings the car to a little bit slower speed, we will talk to him tonight at 10:30. So Bobby Gerhart, our winner at Daytona for the first race of the season. Now, NASCAR Race Day.